attention than the study of parenting. It is tempting to think that this was the result of the predominance of male researchers whose interest was understandably in their own sex. But it was also something to do with the way that sexual selection was defined, predominantly by male researchers. Campbell, 2009. THEY focused on competition for mating opportunities using a definition that Darwin employed in his earlier work, the struggle between males for possession of the females. TH's is a more restricted definition than Darwin used later with its focus on differential reproduction, the advantage which certain individuals have over others of the same sex and species, solely in respect of reproduction. Reproduction is a much bigger concept than copulation. It includes birth and parenting and so accords a much more critical role to women. As Audi 1999, page 81, original emphasis in italics, puts it so aptly, unless mating results in the production of offspring who themselves survive infancy and the juvenile years and position themselves so as to reproduce, sex is only so much sound and undulation signifying nothing. Raising offspring is as critical to reproductive success, if not more so, as sexual athleticism. Yet women's capacity to perform this feat, lasting over years, costing them dearly, constraining their own life choices, shaping the next generation, was taken as unremarkable. While studies of mate preferences loomed large in evolutionary psychology research, decisions about birth spacing, breastfeeding, weaning, and all parenting took a back seat. Until the arrival of Sarah Audi's exceptional book Mother Nature, mothering was taken for granted as a straightforward and unproblematic exercise. Audi, 1999, page 69, was forced to underline again and again the critical importance of the mother. For species such as primates, the mother is the environment, or at least the most important feature in it during the most perilous phase of any individual's existence. Her luck plus how well she copes with her world, its scarcities, its predators, its pathogens, along with her conspecifices in it, are what determine whether or not a fertilization ever counts. I think that an important reason for this neglect derived from the way parental investment was portrayed. Females, with their heavy parental investment, were the prizes for which swaggering males competed. The image is irresistible. A female sits on the sidelines, passively awaiting the arrival of a male who, by demonstrating his dominance over his rivals, has won the undisputed right to her reproductive favors. It was male competition, risky, desperate, and tinged with sexual anticipation, that became the attention grabber. The long hard road that lay ahead for the female, mundane, time-consuming, repetitive, seemed so much less exciting. And the focus on male winners and losers informed a belief that women, and the mothering that they did, was all much of a muchness. There was little to choose between women either in the pursuing half the .75 strategies they used, or the quality and quantity of children that resulted. The number of offspring that a male could sire ranged from a stunning zenith in the hundreds to a catastrophic zero. Males were brilliant success stories or dismal failures, while women took a moderate middle road steadily producing as many offspring as their circumstances would allow. A female's life was portrayed as a predictable cycle: enter estrus, copulate, get pregnant, lactate, and begin again. If this were true, there would be no variability in female reproductive success and so little of interest to discover about differences between females in their choices and strategies. And if there were no differences between women in their reproductive output, there could be no selection and no adaptation. The driving force of evolution would be men's success or failure. Women were relegated to the role of convenient sperm receptacles and breeding machines. Females' contribution to evolution in this scenario could only be as choosers of male gene quality. But we now know there is considerable variability between females in their ability not just to produce children but to raise them. The variance may not be as great as between males, but that is irrelevant because females are not in competition with males, they are in competition with other females. If you die leaving 6 grown children behind and I leave 1, you leave 6 times as many of your genes in the next generation as I do. Women were choosy investors all right, but to opt out of the competition altogether was no more an adaptive option for a female than it was for a male. The difference was that females were forced to carry out the competition in a much less overt way, for reasons I will discuss later. So it was the dramatic life or death quality of male competition that grabbed researchers' attention. Risk-taking and bravado were the